Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Alright, so today's medical astrology reading. I didn't want to do a moon phase reading considering that there's a lot going on, so I'm just doing a very general reading in correspondence to the zodiac sign that we're in right now, which is Virgo. Virgo season. I don't know about you guys, but lately I've been feeling like I need to reorganize my life on a more grand scale. Yeah, so this Virgo energy is really strong this year. Now Virgos being known for their earth being, their centeredness and their groundedness, as well as their organization and analyzation in regards to life. Now this corresponds to the certain organs in our body system, particularly the pancreas and the duodenum, the small intestine, the spleen, and it also shares Jupiter with the liver and the thymus gland with Pluto. So what does all this mean? Alright, so Virgo generally rules the abdomen area, such as the pancreas. Now the pancreas, what it does a lot of functions. On the more micro level scale, like the liver, in terms of filtering out toxins, the pancreas does the same thing. It also is in charge of producing and secreting enzymes, which enzymes, they do a lot of things. They break down, basically enzymes, they break down certain molecules in the body. So the pancreas is known for that breakdown organization part of the Virgo. And now the spleen, which is not so, it's not highlighted in A&P class. You don't talk about it for an extended amount of time, but it does a lot as well. Now the spleen is more so the regenerative, it regenerates the blood system. In terms of what it does, is really the recycling bin for old blood cells. So what it does is it takes the old blood cells and strips them down and regenerates and makes new blood cells. Which is kind of cool. Alright, and then we have the small intestine. So after the food is filtered out through the upper portion, it goes through, passes through the duodenum and into the small intestine and large intestine. And within that area, in the intestines, is where the actual nutrients are excreted out and then put into the bloodstream. So knowing these general processes, how does this correlate with the Virgo season? Now, these readings are more so for you to be aware of the current energies so you can stay centered and have a harmonious, harmonious state of being. So you're not imbalanced in any way or form, or that you can avoid any imbalances really. Now for this season in particular, I wanted to highlight a few herbs for certain reasons. So I have different categories. So we have cleansing herbs, protection herbs, and gut herbs, as well as household plants that you can use for general protection. Now I threw in protection in there because of the Neptune effect going on. So since this full moon that's happening tomorrow is actually in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, there's a lot going on within the subconscious mind. So your dreams might be a little bit more vivid or elevated in stature. So knowing this, you want to protect your pineal gland and your third eye. And you can do this with herbs, of course, and then of course with your surrounding as well. Now, those protection herbs include mullein and vetiver. Vetiver I've been loving lately, but I've been using more so cedarwood, more so for its grounding effect. So what vetiver does, it's a neuroendocrine and also a gastrointestinal restorative herb. So what it does is it harmonizes the endocrine system by combating any fatigue or depression, chronic stress that might be going on. And in terms of the gastrointestinal aspect, it helps reduce inflammation that might cause any irritation within the gastrointestinal walls, pertaining to, IBS, constipation, also preventing malabsorption, which is very important. You want to make sure you're getting your nutrients. I also do want to highlight sleep, just because of the Pisces aspect. Now, what sleep, I'll go into this with an herb. Well, I'll go into it now. I think it was in relation to vetiver, actually. So, with sleep, why is sleep so important? Now, sleep affects multiple hormones, but in general, it affects the melatonin release, as well as the HPA axis and cortisol. So all that in combination, what it does really is, now the melatonin is produced in the pineal gland. So, and it's stimulated by light, of course, lack of or in abundance of light. Melatonin is also a rich antioxidant for us as well. And now, in correspondence with the cortisol levels and HPA axis, so melatonin, when imbalanced, those other hormones, such as cortisol and the HPA axis functions, are also in balance. So that helps prevent any unnecessary fatigue or stress. Now, this is why I emphasize sleep and its importance. Now, while we're on the subject of gut, and gastrointestinal restorative herbs, there are a few I want to highlight for the gut. Alright, hey guys, sorry, my computer had died. Alright, so we're talking about gut herbs. So I put down a couple. So there's fennel and licorice. Now, both of these herbs are high in antioxidants. Actually, all of the herbs that we're going to be talking about today are very high in antioxidants. That reduces our exposure to free radicals. And because of that, there's also anti-mutagenic effects. So it reduces the amount of cell reproduction that is potentially harmful to the body. So fennel is very rich in nutrients as well, in addition to its antioxidant property. And it also is a carminative, a general carminative. So since it's a general carminative, it helps with various ailments pertaining to the gastrointestinal system, such as IBS, potentialities of ulcers. Now, actually, with ulcers, licorice, the studies behind licorice in regards to stomach ulcers is very substantial, especially because the whole root itself of licorice can be a bit sensitive depending on the individual. So this is why they have a derivative of it called DGL. So this derivative of licorice, it deviates the, the not so friendly effects of licorice. So you're just getting the benefits of the herb. So if you want to, you can use the DGL or the licorice itself. So for that, it also corresponds to the liver in terms of the filtering of toxin processing. Speaking of toxins, alright, so the cleansing herb that's highlighted is a parsley, and that is because it's a very rich blood tonic, very similar to cilantro. You can use either or, actually. Now, parsley is also it's antifungal, antibacterial, and of course as well high in antioxidants as well. Alright, so I do want to touch a little bit before I go on to the house plants. I do want to touch more a little bit on the imbalances. Now, since the full moon illuminates a lot that we know consciously and subconsciously, it's important to be aware of indulging. And since we are in Virgo, pertaining to indulgement, this may do with indulgences in regards to food and drinks, specifically alcoholic drinks. So keeping that in mind, make sure you're aware of that. Now, these herbs are also beneficial because any imbalance within the pancreas leaves the body more prone to sugar-related diseases such as hypertension, hypoglycemia. Now, the thymus. So there are within these herbs listed, so ones that enrich the thymus include the gut herbs such as fennel and licorice, vetiver, and parsley. Now, what the thymus does, this endocrine gland, it supports the creation of T cells. So T cells really are the foundation of our immune system. So the thymus, it actually grows as a butterfly gland right in this area right here. And it grows as we mature in age, and actually stops growing once we hit puberty. It hits its maximum size. So this corresponds also to our building immune system. As you know, that's the prime age for when the immune system is building. So in that regard, keep an eye on your kids. This is a time where people are getting sick or have the potentiality to get sick. So make sure your kids are guarded. These herbs can help them in a sense, especially to the digestive aspect. You can also incorporate elderberry for that reason, for more so on the protective side for them as well. Now, as for the house plants, now these are more so for protection. These plants include black dianthus, pumpernickel, scarlet, sweet pea, and lily. Now, and it's funny how the lily and sweet pea come into play, because it also tunes into the Neptune energy in regards to tuning into the subconscious mind. So yeah, so these are very protective plants for the household that you can incorporate. They're also they're seasonal for this time. They look nice too. They vary in blacks and purples. Yeah, and then you can also incorporate lemongrass, the actual grass itself, if you can get a hold of it, and use it in your home as an amulet for protection. Yeah. Alright guys, so that really concludes this reading. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. Now, I'll be diving in deeper. So the next video in regards to medical astrology we'll be talking about Chiron and the implications of Chiron, especially during this time as it's transitioning, or it really has, as it's moving. It's still moving, although it is in Aries right now, but it's still being pulled out of Pisces energy into Aries. Yeah, very powerful stuff. Alright guys, and as always, if you want to delve deeper into this reading, look into the aspects of your natal chart and see the placement of the full moon and Virgo within your chart and how it corresponds to you and yourself and your well-being. Alright guys, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.